Thank you for coming here today. I have a very pleasant task ahead to announce to the citizens of our state that the Speaker of the South Carolina House, Bobby Harrell, will become a co-chairman for the South Carolina Exploratory Committee to urge Senator John McCain to run for President of the United States. He will also be co-chairman of national legislators, state legislators, urging Senator McCain to run for President of the United States. As you can tell by the people surrounding me, this campaign is wide and it's deep. And what every campaign hopes to have happen is that you build, that you add quality people on top of quality people. The Speaker of the House of the state of South Carolina is a uniquely powerful position. It comes about by your colleagues electing you to the office. We have the Speaker Pro Tem with us, Doug Smith, who was also elected by his colleagues. I have known Bobby Harrell since 1992. I came from Seneca, South Carolina in the upstate. Bobby came from the Charleston area. We met trying to figure out what we wanted to do for the state and the nation. I'm a year older than he is. I look forward to that. But Bobby has ascended to the ranks of the State House. We have prominent state senators behind us, the Attorney General. But with Bobby on this team, it's probably the biggest shot of momentum we've had since we began. What people see in Bobby at the State House, people throughout the country will soon see. A man dedicated to moving our state and our nation forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the Speaker of the South Carolina House, Bobby Harrell.
Thank you so much. And it is so good to be here with all of you. It's so good to be here with my fellow House members and senators and other folks here all together for this announcement and to support Senator McCain. Like most South Carolinians, most Americans, and most Republicans, my wife Kathy and I have spent months and months thinking about, praying about who we thought ought to be the next president of the United States. On the Republican side, you got a number of potential candidates who emerged. And politically, the safe thing for us to do would be to stay out of the race, not get involved, or at the very least wait for a little closer to figure out who is likely to win. But we can't do that because this election and 2008 is simply too important. For that reason, I am today urging Senator John McCain to seek the presidency of the United States, and I'm offering my full support to help him to win this election. There are several key reasons why Kathy and I came to this decision. First of all, John McCain is a personal hero of mine, and he is a personal hero of my wife's. When I stop and I think about, when I first heard about his story of being a prisoner of war in Vietnam, that was touching. When I heard that he had an opportunity to leave early and come back to the United States because of who he was and who his father was, and he chose to stay because it was the honorable thing to do to allow other POWs who had been there before him to leave and come home before he came home, it gives me chills thinking about that, quite frankly. He is a personal hero of mine. That's the first reason why we've done this. I also believe that he's a leader who can win the war on global terror, limit or reduce government spending, fix the broken power structure in Washington, and reconnect faith of the American people in our government. The record's clear. John McCain is a true reformer. He's taken positions that weren't popular because he believed it was the right thing to do, and frankly, time has shown that it was the right thing to do, and we all saw that afterwards. Time and again, he's placed the needs of this country, national needs, over special interests, and had to deal with the consequences of doing that. In my judgment, John McCain is the single most conservative candidate who could win this election in November. And for Republicans, if we don't actually win in November, then the nominating process is just a tragically wasted effort. But most of all, I believe the fight for global terror is the defining issue of our time. And John McCain is clearly the best qualified person to lead our nation in this dangerous period in our country's history. Today, as we focus greater attention on the war in Iraq, we should remember that John McCain has been calling for additional troops for 3 years. And while others have played politics or others have taken the politically safe route, he has stood by the president in the president's effort to change strategy in order to achieve success. John McCain knows that Americans want success in Iraq. And like Winston Churchill in the darkest times of World War II, John McCain knows that wider conflict and defeat is not an option for America. Among the potential candidates in 2008, I believe that John McCain can inspire our nation. And folks, that's what presidential campaigns are really all about. Inspiring the people of the United States of America to be more than we are, to improve, to take us where we all want to go. So therefore, I urge Senator McCain to offer as a candidate for President of the United States in 2008, and I pledge him my full support. And as my friend Lindsey Graham's predecessor, the great Strom Thurmond used to say, Senator, I have anyway.
I'm deeply honored to have your support and that of your wife Kathy and your family. Many of you may know that the Speaker's son Trey is recovering from a bone marrow operation in order to save the life of a 6-year-old boy in Germany as we speak. We wish you a speedy recovery. It's typical of the Harold family. I'd like to, of course, thank my friend Lindsey Graham for so many things, including the incredible leadership role he has assumed in the United States Senate, confirmation of judges who believe in the Constitution of the United States as the guiding factor in their decisions, in his incredible support for the men and women who are serving in the military, and his deep knowledge of the issues of the military that are so important to the future of this country. I'd like to thank Henry McMaster, the great Attorney General, and I will continue to work with him on the terrible issue that challenging child pornography that is plaguing just terrible apart in many respects. I would like to thank our Secretary of State, Mark Hammond, Senator Mike Thayer, Senator Glenn McConnell, Senator John Corson, Speaker Pro Tem, Doug Smith, Gloria Haskins, and other members who are here with me today. I think we've assembled a strong team, but we have assembled the strongest leader of that team. We're grateful for it, Mr. Speaker. I just want to mention one issue very quickly, and that is the debate that's raging as we speak over whether the president should be able to change the strategy so that we can achieve success in Iraq. This is not just an increase in troops. It's a change in strategy to bring about stability so that security in the regions of Baghdad, so that political and economic development can follow. I can't guarantee you success with this new strategy, but I can guarantee failure if we don't. I can guarantee failure. Chaos will ensue, and Americans will have to be fighting someplace else in the Middle East in years to come. I believe the President of the United States was elected to lead this country, and I say to the opponents of this policy, rather than a resolution of disapproval, which I don't think is an act of political courage, go ahead and vote to cut off the funds if you believe that it's as important. Lindsey and I and others will be involved in this fight in the days and weeks to come to see that the men and women are supported in their mission, get whatever they need, and succeed and win this war, this conflict, which is all part of the wider war on terror which we are engaged in.
jobs, there's folks on family jobs that he couldn't support you for president anyway because of your views on family values. How do you feel about those comments from the jobs?
Well, I'm obviously disappointed, and I'd like to continue to have a dialogue with Dr. Johnson and other members of the community. I'm happy to say that I've established a dialogue with a number of other leaders such as Reverend Falwell, Rick Warren, Dr. Rich Bryant, the Southern Baptist Convention, and others. And I will continue that dialogue. Thank you very much.
One last thing. Senator Brown has also have any wisdom for a new senator getting involved in this process?
Come on in, the water's fine. I would in response to that question. We are moving forward with the process of setting up the president. I'm not making any moves about that. I would like to also say that I think that what we're able to achieve in South Carolina is very important. I know how controversial the 2000 campaign was. The reason why I lost in the year 2000 was because President Bush had a better political base, a better financial base, and ran a better campaign. That's why I lost. After I lost, I slept like a baby. Sleep 2 hours, wake up and cry. Sleep 2 hours, wake up. We intend to have a team that's with me and others to be prepared to run very ways. We realize how important the state of South Carolina is. I also would like to say how much I love the state by having the opportunity to travel all over and making friends such as me.
What will you do different this time to ensure success?
I think what you're seeing here, I think what you're seeing here is very important. I think we run a better campaign in a variety of ways. We learn from communities. I think that we can assemble a strong